Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans, and haters of all ages, welcome to another episode of Road Ragin. It is still I, the SKF Effect. I'm still joined by Ragin, who's pushing herself further and further out of the screen for some reason.
Actually, I haven't moved. It's the phone.
No, you're moving. Especially when I said you
Hi.
Now you're blocking just
ice. That was why I did this. No, actually, it's a phone.
And we have Just Ice in the background because that's his new name, apparently. Just Ice. Goes very well with the Punisher shirt. So, today's topic is going to be in the growing world now of women's wrestling, with WOW returning at the end of 2022, with shows like Shimmer, Shine making their comebacks, with NWA doing the Empowerrr pay-per-view, with Impact bringing back Knockouts Knockdown. How's AEW and WWE going to compete with this? And here's one topic, because on this filming, SmackDown aired, and we had two opening matches of the Queen's Crown tournament. Rhiannon, how long was each of those matches, and who was in them?
Zelina Vega versus Toni Storm, clocking in at 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Carmella versus Liv Morgan, clocking in at 1 minute 33 seconds. Hello, Divas Era.
WWE. Vince. How the fuck you gonna do that to them?
Now, also, how we had a women's match later that evening between Belair and who else? There's another segment for women, to be fair.
There was another segment. There was also a contract signing.
Right.
But that still does not take away from the fact that the opening matches to a all-women's tournament, the debuting of this women's tournament, the two matches totaled 3 minutes.
Yeah, no,
Their entrances would have had to have been longer than...
Assuming they got entrances. I unfortunately missed SmackDown. They may have not even gotten an entrance. There may have just been one of them entering. But
there was a really bad storm last night. I had no satellite.
Carmella, multiple-time women's champion. Liv Morgan, high deserving, fan favorite. Toni Storm. How the fuck are you fucking up, Toni? Wait, that's another video for another day.
And Zelina Vega.
Who's been there, who is talented.
Who got screwed out of her match on the September 11th tribute show.
Because they didn't have time to toss in a 5-minute segment, apparently. So, AEW, they're better on the timing. They're better on match quality.
Mm-hmm. And they're debuting a new women's belt for the...
the hose belt?
The TBS.
The hose belt.
The hose belt. The TBS logo may have not been the best. The modern TBS logo may have not been the best choice. But...
they're trying. There's another belt.
Yeah.
AEW has a lot of shows, has a very large women's roster that they're trying to expand.
Which, that is something else we're going to explore in another episode.
It gives more women a chance at some airtime, some storylines, some competition, the potential of a champion versus champion match down the line.
Both WWE and AEW have the talent.
Absolutely.
They have the time available for this talent to be showcased.
Absolutely.
They just need to utilize this talent, and they need better stories.
I think
the biggest issue with AEW since their start has been the storytelling of the women's division.
They've been a little off kilter.
A little better, but there's still things that are just like, well, how is this happening?
I will say we went to a taping for AEW Dark.
Those were fun.
And I feel like every other match was a women's match there, which is great. Great showings, great showcase for new talents, and I'm finishing my thought over there.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with AEW Dark is there's very little storyline. I mean, they did have some with the Bunny and TJ and things like that playing a part, and with Layla Hirsch and Jade with that storyline. But otherwise, it's kind of disjointed, and it does put most of their women's matches onto YouTube, which doesn't get the viewership that the television shows go. And I'm thinking if there's anything else I could say just to keep them from bursting. Okay, is there something you would like to say?
Tony Khan, fuck you, dude. You had so many hours of dark tape and you couldn't find a match for Leva. Fuck you.
Yeah, Leva was there, the librarian was there doing lots of production things, and the bell ringer, and they couldn't give her a freaking match. Leva deserves better. I have a feeling that our next AEW show, he's going to have a sign that says that. And if he didn't, now he does have that idea in his head.
But I digress. But that did get feeling once you mentioned Dark and Eclect. That they did all these, 7 hours of matches.
We sat through 7 hours of tapings, man. And half of those easily were women's matches. And now the thing with dark matches, dark AEW matches, not dark matches, the untelevised. They are shorter matches, but that's not to say that that was just the women's matches. Most of the matches on AEW Dark are shorter in time, save for the main event of each Dark, and some of your larger tag matches do run a little longer. But it is not uncommon for your AEW Dark matches to be 5-minute range.
In defense, a lot of those Dark matches were, here's our signed talent versus this local talent enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike other, like a Liv Morgan versus Carmella, where they are both established talents that should be doing more than just a minute and a half.
Right.
So, your two biggest companies in the States, WWE and AEW, need to take a look back at their women's division, at the rosters, at the riders, and just kind of be like, what are we doing?
But AEW storylines don't matter, rankings do.
You still need to have both.
Yeah, and there are
it's
some.
all rankings.
There are some
It's not all
storylines in
rankings,
AEW.
but we'll talk this in another episode before we go off into this. So, like, share, subscribe, hit those buttons down below. Leave us a comment. What do you think about the women's division as a whole in regards to both of these shows, as far as the independent shows like Shimmer, Shine? Oh, and you know what? Not mentioned in this, Impact Wrestling, slightly mentioned with Knockouts Knockdown, but has been doing great things with their women's division.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I thought this was just AEW and WWE.
No,
we mentioned Knockouts Knockdown.
And Empowerrr and
Empowerrr.
NWA is doing a lot with their women's division.
Yeah.
And even Ring of Honor had a big tournament
Oh, yes.
to
And gave it
crown
to a new
Roxy.
talent.
Yep.
So, comment below your thoughts. Comment your favorite women wrestler. Who is it? Until the next episode. Later days, y'all, and take care of yourselves, everybody. Oh, and he didn't get it out. Say your phrase.
Don't be a dick.
There we go.
But there's no dicks for this video. It's all women.
Tony Khan and Vince McMahon.
Brittany is not doing the interrupt.
All right,
Nope,
5,
she's not
4,
doing it because
3,
she can't remember
2,
what it is.
1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages.
You just do your own, however, just your own
Sup,
thing.
people.
There you go. That's it. Welcome to Road Raging. All right, take 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why did we do that over?
Because
I thought that was the introduction.
we were giving you an introduction of how to do things.
I don't want an introduction.
You
Someone
already-
else do
come
the
on.
introduction.
You can do the introduction.
I cannot do an introduction.
Why can't you do the introduction?
Just go.
You have a piece of paper in your hand. You can write what you want to say.
Thanks.
You can have a script if you need it. Some of us do better off the cuff.
Take 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.